you open up the game, setting the tone with a lot of pace and playmaking. What do you feel like has been clicking right now, especially the way you've just been stacking up double-doubles?
My biggest thing as a point guard, as a leader, is just in knowing the team we have, just trying to continue to keep that pace because that's when we're at our best, when we're playing fast, getting to our actions quick. So, I mean, that's been my emphasis for myself. So just trying to continue to do that. It's been working really well for us. So, I mean, just continue to do that and get my guys open and get them in the spots where they need to be to make plays. And that's why you continue to see those come in the stat sheet.
We'll talk about, you guys had either 28 or 29 assists. I'm waiting for the final number. It is 29. 29 matches a program record. Can you just talk about that, about how you guys shared the ball, how important that is?
A team full of really good guys. So, I mean, so just being able to get everybody going and giving everybody opportunities in the right places. I feel like that's what that shows. Them 29 assists, just everybody being in the right place at the right time where they're supposed to be, and then just capitalizing on getting people the ball in the right areas.
Ernest, I want to ask too. I saw that Jay was like very animated / angry animated more than usual. What was it that he was unhappy about?
He just expects more from us. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, whenever he feels like we're not playing to the level, playing to the standard that we could be playing at, he lets us know. And, it's something I've talked about multiple times before. He's brutally honest. And you got to love that in a coach, to tell you, even though you're going 99%, it's not good enough. I need you to go 110% every single possession. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if you're in the game, on the bench, sideline, about to check in. Just making sure that you're playing to the level all the time.
So even though, Tre, same sort of off that same question, so even though you guys were winning pretty handily, he was not satisfied.
It's not the standard.
Yep.
What were some of those things that he wasn't exactly satisfied about?
Because he just wants us to play better, do what we're supposed to do what we've been practicing. No matter who we're playing, we still got to continue to be Miami.
Was it defensively that he was more disappointed, or offensive things? What?
He was just
all over. Just overall effort. Just playing harder. That's it.
Ernest, offensively, you won 4 points tonight, 62, which is the season, 62 points in the paint, which is season 9. So what do you think was clicking offensively?
Mentally, just staying aggressive. Obviously, like Tre said, it doesn't matter who we're playing. We definitely got to stick to what we do. And going into tonight's game, obviously there was an emphasis on attacking the paint. Obviously, Coach said earlier, they're one of the teams in the country who doesn't really foul. And obviously, making sure we try to get to the line, being aggressive, use that to our advantage. And that was kind of one of the emphases going into the game.
Ernest, you hit the floor pretty hard.
Yeah.
How you feel?
No, I feel great. Obviously, tomorrow just rest up, get some rehab, and then back at it. So.
In the first half, I think you guys were, 1 of 6 from the free throw line and 2 of 11 from 3-point. And then the second half, you guys improved. Are those two areas that were discussed at halftime or anything? Or?
No, the ball just wasn't going in.
Anything else? I'll ask one more. Okay. FIU, I know you guys, haven't been in this program before, but the UM-FIU crosstown rivalry is always a big thing. What are you expecting, both of you, from Tuesday's game?
Just excited for another opportunity to get better.
Yeah. It's gonna be a high-intensity game. And like you said, just another opportunity to get better. Going to the game, and just for us, just personally, just continue to get better as a team, and obviously understand what the ultimate goal is in April.
Have you guys in your other schools that you've been at played against the crosstown team that doesn't get as much attention as the big school, and how dangerous are those games?
I feel like anybody who steps in the gym, is dangerous. At the end of the day, there's a reason I chose to play at the University of Miami. There's a reason why all of us play college basketball at the highest level, Division I. It doesn't matter who's in between that rectangle. Everyone's liable, to simply beat you. You know what I mean? So obviously, we got to come into this game, respect the opponent, whoever it is. And like Tre said, like I said at the beginning of this interview, play to our standard, do the things that we're coached in practice, and then ultimately display it out on the floor.
Ernest, what do you think of the overall defensive performance tonight? Just what were some of the goods, and then what are some of the things that you fine tune?
Again, just going back to what we said earlier, just playing harder. That's it. Just taking care of what we got to do. Going into practice, working on what we work on, and just ultimately come out and play to the level, 100%.
It's always good to get a win. I guess start there. You never want to take away from being able to win a game. It's hard to win any game, so I appreciate that. But I am not pleased with how we won, but we won. So kind of open it for questions.
What was it? I noticed during the game, even though you guys scored 104 points, 29 assists, all that. You were very animated, agitated, whatever the word is. The players, I asked them, and they said that you just weren't happy with their effort. Can you just shed some light on why you're so disappointed after this win?
Just don't, the result is good, but the process of getting the result was not good. And so we pride ourselves in being a defensive team, and we were not that today. We were non-existent on the defensive end. You get a team that shoots 60% from the field, 44% from three. It's hard. It's going to be hard for any coach to be happy, even though we won by a large amount. But it just, part of it is we're down on numbers. So we haven't been able to practice and haven't been able to compete and practice how we need to the level. And so it carries over to the game. So because we're down on numbers and, we got 7 guys, people banged up, people out, it's hard to think you're not going to be able to compete in the games if you're not competing in practice. So we got to compete in practice. Can't worry about injuries, can't worry about stuff like that, but we're going to have to play 3-on-3, 2-on-2, 4-on-4. We gotta play. We gotta compete. So.
They shot 44%. You guys shot 60.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. I'm reading the wrong one. Yep. Nope. I'm sorry. No, I was looking at the wrong numbers. I'm sorry.
So
They
are
shot.
you still as upset?
Yeah, because it felt like 60. To be honest with you, it felt like 60. So I'm reading our stats, and I'm shocked it wasn't 60 because it felt like 60. But this part of the year. And part of it does have to do with injuries. I thought we were trending in the right direction, but these last 2 games, I haven't liked what I've seen.
What happened with Shelton?
We don't know. We're still kind of evaluating and seeing what it is. He tried to kind of go out there, start the second half, run around a little bit. So we'll see.
What were some of those things defensively that you think just wasn't clicking?
We were stuck in mud. Our rotations were slow. We struggled guarding the ball and keeping people in front. And whenever you struggle to guard the ball and keep people in front, the ball gets in the paint. And then once the ball in the paint, anything can happen. Because their high limit of paint touches leads to them making 15 threes. I think this is the most threes they've made all year. They're making about 7 a game. And we just struggled to keep the ball in front. Part of it is guys are playing higher minutes, but we tried to space it out. So nobody really played a big load except for Tre. So that's not an excuse either. But our energy, effort, and I've never had to coach it with the guys, but I think it's a correlation between not being able to practice because of the injuries and then rolling out and thinking you're going to be able to play to the level in the games.
The stigma has been that Miami hasn't been a great three-point shooting basketball team. But today, it looks like they're shooting the ball with supreme confidence. Is it something that you guys have been doing differently in practice? Or guys are just, you're telling these guys to shoot, but they're not shooting? What's happening there?
No, we just had to up our amount. We were shooting like 17, 18 a game. I told them we got to get to at least 25. And I feel if we get to 25, we can make somewhere between 9 and 11 a game if they're the right ones. Now, we're never going to be a transition three-point shooting team. That's not going to be us. But if we get a high quality, if we can make 10, 11 threes a game, we can be hard to beat if we play the right way.
Do you think the three-point shooting correlates to the free throw shooting? Because the last couple games, you guys have been in games, but free throw shooting has been a little bit below average.
Right.
But, you can make it three, you can make it free throw. Is it confidence, or is it just, what's the disconnect there?
I think a part of it is confidence, and then a part of it is we're physically built. We're not built for shooting, for lack of a better word. We're built to defend. We're built to rebound. We're built to play physical. A lot of that leads to getting fouled. And so we have to be better at being able to do that. But I'm more disappointed that we only got 17 tonight. You know what I mean? This should be a game where we should be at least 25 plus from the free throw line. And then we can kind of see, from there. But part of it is all of it. You know what I mean? I think everything you made is a good point as well. But then also part of it is, you build a team a certain way, you give up a little bit on the other end.
What did you tell the team at halftime and after?
No, I just told him, I'm not happy. We learned this lesson last week. It was the same thing with Southern Miss. Noon game, tied at halftime. We played awful. They come out in the second half and pick it up. Same thing in this game. I thought we had a great start. It's what we talked about. But then after the great start, it's like they thought the game was over. And then ULM kept playing. And I felt it was a game the whole game. Even though the score kind of towards the end got away, but I felt like they were in the game the whole time. And the biggest thing, you can't flip a switch. You can't flip a switch. These games are too precious, and especially coming in Tuesday with a good FIU team coming in.
I was going to ask you, my next question is about FIU. The games where the team in town that doesn't get the attention comes into the town, the team that has all the attention. What are you expecting from this game on Tuesday?
I mean, I expect a war. They're really good. Coach Ballard's done a good job this year with his team construction. They play with confidence. They play free. They're aggressive. They're big. They got really good guards. And from a Ken Palm statistics standpoint, they're our best opponent in a bye game, supposedly, that would play. Outside of Ole Miss and BYU, they're our highest ranked opponent. So I expect them to come in here with supreme confidence and house money.
With time for a couple more. With injuries, just how are Marcus and Dante kind of coming along?
It's just day by day. It's some things are kind of just up to their bodies. It's kind of out of our control. You know what I mean? So, they do all they can, but it's kind of just time with both of them to kind of see.
What is Dante's a hand thing, a wrist? What is
Yeah, Dante's is like a hand thing, like hand wrist type deal. So just
Did it happen during practice?
it did happen during practice. Happened before Ole Miss. So just waiting for that to heal. And then Marcus is a growing lower back thing.
How challenging has that been in practice, just having less guys, having two?
Well, it's been challenging because, True's got some stuff going on. Gnome's got some stuff going on. So those guys are kind of limited in what they can do in practice. So that automatically knocks you down to 7. And JJ, LeBoy, and Jordan Key are, developmental players who are here just to get better and see where they are in a couple of years. So, their expectation and ours from them was not for them to play this year. And so now they got to steal some minutes here and there for us. But, we got to stay out of foul trouble. And Malik and Ernest and Shelton and Trey and True and those guys have got to do a good job of being ahead of the ball and defending without fouling, and that wasn't the case tonight.
So we got you, Damon Moran.
Yeah, yeah.
4.
Yeah, I wish I could. Yeah, you look at me on the court, I may look like I could never play. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I thought you still had it.
Yeah, I get mad because I can't do what I used to do, so I try to avoid it.
With JJ and Jordan, with them getting a little bit of playing time
Yep.
today, just I know you mentioned that they're developmental guys.
Yep.
How are they doing in that aspect? How are they coming along?
They're coming along. They're coming along. Their thing is, and for me, in building this program, is I want to build it within as much as possible. So if you can get guys like a John LeBoy and a Jordan Key who are here for multiple years, they kind of develop your culture. They're a part. They know the terminology. So by the time, they're juniors, seniors, they can be kind of a part of the program. Now, for most competitors and most kids, that's hard to do, especially in this day and age when – instant gratification is so big and you can transfer and play right away. So just understanding the process and the plan and sticking to it. And they've done a good job so far. Now, the days are hard. Of course, everybody wants to play in the games. These kids want to play in the games too, but they've done a good job of just buying into the plan.